So let's carry on with the interview questions now.
Start. So thanks for your time in spite of the busy schedule and other appointment. Thank you, sir. We'll proceed with it,
No,
sir.
no
Please,
problem.
you
No
should start.
problem. Yeah. I'm actually in
Yeah.
near
Share a
Seattle.
general opinion about e-waste management. Like what and all you know generally.
Uh, what do I know about e-waste
Ah,
management? Yeah, I mean, I know that e-waste management is really the one of the biggest problems right now that we are facing, right? As a community, as a world, we are facing the problem of figuring out how to manage e-waste in particular. And because I feel like we lack the awareness. We don't even understand the problem of why we need to do this and what the impacts of it in the environment are, right? So, again, uh, I think it's still, there are many countries are not doing it right. I mean, only a few countries seem to be getting a hang of it. That's what I particularly have known. For instance, I know that Switzerland is probably the best when it comes to recycling e-waste. And then a few more Nordic countries are doing well, and a little bit of the same thing in Europe. But hope most of Asia and US has to catch up. And I think that they have not. That's what I know about it so far.
so we can move on with the next question, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So how do you generally dispose of waste in your house, sir? Like e-waste, the old phones and laptops, which what will you do with them?
So there are some recycling centers. So I collect them. So I don't do it often. So I collect them over a few years, like 4 or 5 years. Old phones and laptops, I take it to the electronic recycling station that's in Dallas, and then I drop them off there. The batteries, on the other hand, I collect them every few months. Then we have a battery disposal recycling at the university that I go and drop it off. So we are very careful about it. But then, uh, am I doing it perfectly? No, probably not. There are still some phones lying around, some laptops lying around, some tablets lying around that are not recycled as well as I want them to. But yeah, that's what we try and do. We try to take it to the appropriate recycle centers.
That's good, sir. So you have both experience in US and India. Do you find any difference in disposing e-waste like in both the countries? The different methods adapted.
I haven't I haven't really followed that part very well, but I have read that so for instance there is a recycling sector itself is now a big thing in Chennai, in Bangalore, in India. But for instance, in US, there's not much out there. Universities have an idea, but then you will see that their box is like this. It's not even a small briefcase, right? It's the size of a laptop. That's the size of the box that they have, and the amount of batteries that we use in my house, because I have a 9-year-old kid who has a remote control everything, car, flight, everything is remote control. So everything for him is battery operated. So I get like 30 batteries every 2 months that I have to recycle, and that's not easy. So I'm trying to nudge him to go from recycle to reuse, and the reusable stuff is not as big in anywhere as I want to see, both India and in the US. I don't think we are reusing stuff as much as we should be. So reusable batteries, reusable things, and recycling phones, we are not doing that. Uh, um, there are again, right? There are sectors in India where, like IIT, I see a lot of awareness in everything. But then you cross the IIT campus, the awareness is lost. So you go from IIT to Velachery, the awareness is lost. So I think that that awareness is still missing in both countries.
So is e-waste somehow related with AI, sir? Like, if it has any purpose with do with AI?
I mean, AI is a tool, right? I mean, AI is like a tool that you can use for any problem. So if you have to pose the problem of managing recycle or reuse using AI. I think that you have to well define the problem, and I don't think the problem is as well defined. Uh, but using AI, I can imagine things like can we predict what is the pollution that it's going to be causing, both in the air or in the water, um, or predict the effects of human health, maybe even soil pollution? Can we make these predictions? I think that question is still, it's unclear to me how to
Like, is it
do this.
really helpful if you introduce AI into e-waste management? Will it
I
help?
think so. I mean, I think it will be good, but we need a lot of data to do that yet. And I think there is a problem with AI in some sense, right? The whole generative AI applications is basically uses a lot of electricity, a lot of uh, uh, infrastructure, and that itself can cause more e-waste. So, so just training AI, you have to do it very carefully because you can't just say, I'm going to throw everything that I have in AI and see what I get out of it. You have to understand the problem before you execute it. So that is the thing right now, right? So, but I think you can probably look at, managing these data centers using AI. That might be one way. The worry for me is the other way, actually. The question, I don't know your name, but the question you should be asking is the other way. Will AI increase e-waste? I think that's the more important question. And I have and that's my worry. My worry is that as somebody who's building AI, I'm worried always that AI will contribute more to the e-waste than than the
Yes.
than using AI to mitigate e-waste. It's the other way that I'm worried about.
So, do you educate your employees about e-waste management? Like, uh, people you
I don't do it, but the university does. The university does. There is a lot of discussion at the university. Um, but as such, I think this is missing in the general public. And I feel like this education is extremely important, and we don't have that education. So yeah, I don't think many people are getting this education.
So, what are the prominent kind of e-waste you deal in the place where you work? Like, is it very high in the e-waste that is generated in your workplace?
Oh yeah, quite a bit, right? I'm in a computer science department. We have uh, how how many computers do you think I have in my lab? I have 10 students working with me. How many computers do you think I have? I have 40 computers. Okay. I have 40 computers and 10 students. So nearly 20 computers of them are useless, right? And I have like 6 laptops with me at any point. I have 6 laptops, 3 to 4 tablets. So I myself am contributing a lot to the e-waste. So we are trying to figure out how to mitigate this. But I think that we need a lot of discussion. We are generating a lot of e-waste, both as a processor. We have a bunch of processing units that we get. Uh, we have these GPUs and CPUs that we don't use at all, but they are still lying around. We buy these RAMs, we add to the old computers, and then the RAMs become waste. They're just lying around. So we are contributing a lot without thinking about it. And I think we should be thinking about these things much more carefully. You're muted.
My team. Hello, sir.
Hi. Yeah.
So, from your answers, you said about what is there, but your opinions on how to improve the things you have said.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good question. I think how to improve. I think it needs to be a, what we call as public-private partnership. It cannot be just the responsibility of the government. It cannot be just the responsibility of the um, individual corporations, private sector corporations. It has to be both working together, right? So when I read about e-waste some time back, I realized that in countries like Switzerland, it's mainly government driven. But you look at Norway, it's the other way. The government is forcing companies to build sustainable products. The government is forcing companies to have recycle programs so that you can go drop off your e-waste, get some money back. So why is recycling working in general? If you look at many countries, you put your bottle back, even in India, right? Back in 80s itself, people collect these bottles, right? நம்ம காயலாங்கடைன்னு சொல்லுவோம் தமிழ்ல. அந்த காயலாங்கடையில they collect all these things and they try and recycle things back then itself. அந்த பாட்டில உடைப்பாங்க, உடைச்சு they bring it to just glass shards that are then heated up to purpose as this thing. Where did that education come from? It was a government initiative supported by private partnership, and we need that. Norway, they are doing it differently. Switzerland, they are doing differently. Germany, they are doing it differently. For a country like India and US, you need both the government and the private working together. As long as we don't work together, this problem is not going to be solved. It's not a governmental problem. It's not a private problem. It should be both. So if you ask me how to do it, I think we should form specific departments in government that looks at e-waste and specific companies making commitments to reduce, reuse, and recycle as much as possible.
Yes, agree in your opinion.
I think you have two microphones. Yeah, on.
Yeah. So I truly agree with your opinion. And what you said is like true. We need support from our government side. So when we ask question like, how do you dispose in your house? You said you were given in the recycling sectors, but in
Right.
India we don't have such thing. And even for this project, when we search, we are unable to find such sectors. So how are you gonna contribute? Or what is your opinion to develop so that even using AI, is it possible?
So AI is going to probably help more in figuring out how to recycle things better, right? Because the thing is that one of the problems with many of these things, like including recycle, right? இப்போ நான் I live in Texas. Texas is a state that doesn't recycle a lot. First, அதுக்கு நிறைய space இருக்கு. The Texas size itself is like, I think, if I'm right, it's putting all the southern states together, or two of the southern states together is Texas. அந்த மாதிரி பெரிய size. So அவ்வளோ பெரிய size இருக்கும்போது they don't care, and the population density is very low. So they don't care about recycling. But if you dig deep, you will understand why they don't care. Sorting those recycle out from non-recycle is an individual responsibility. We don't do that right. How many of us read the bottles correctly and recycle bottle? Not every bottle can be recycled. Not every plastic can be recycled. And you have to figure out when it's a land waste and when it's not. Where do I think AI can help? If you build good robots, they can sort it out better than human does. So you can attach these sensors to these robots that figures out if something can be recycled or not. Image recognition, machine learning, these things can work together to figure out if this can be done. Second thing is we can start making these predictions, right? So sensor length, we can predict, so for instance, if I can predict early when a phone is going to fail, you can recycle it faster. You have to return it, refund it, and stuff like that. So overall, you can be maintaining it better. And then I feel like robotics has a big contribution when it comes to recycling in general, whether it is e-waste or the normal waste. I think that the notion of using robotics and AI-driven kind of like automation is probably the way to go. But I also think that we should be considering the conservativeness, right? So can we build systems that are much more sustainable? So can we start building more sustainable electronic systems. Other way, I think, can be done using AI. So, I mean, there is a role, but AI, in my opinion, is not the central role. The central role is awareness. Once we get the awareness, then we can get AI to do this.
So how do you think like students can contribute, or do you have any idea so that we can work together to fight against the e-waste?
Any problem, any societal problem starts with students, my opinion. High school students are the key to solving any problem in this world. ஏன்னா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கிட்ட இருந்தாதான் இங்கேருந்து தான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும் எல்லாமே. நீங்க once you become aware of this problem, spread this awareness in your community, among your parents. It's a bottom up growth. ஆர்கானிக்கா அது grow ஆகும். ஓகே, எனிதிங் தட் யூ டூ, ஒரு ஓட்டே வந்து காசு வாங்கி ஓட்டு போடாம ஒழுங்கா ஓட்டு போடணுங்கிற இது வந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வர ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோ. வெதர் இட் இஸ் யூஎஸ் ஆர் இந்தியா, your vote will count. You will make the change. So every problem, in my opinion, starts from students. So again, the awareness is where you start. You have the power to be aware. You start making everyone aware around you. Understand that you don't have to use so many electronics to solve your problems. The e-waste குறைக்க ஆரம்பிச்சோனாலே, I think things will go a far long way. So each of you start. Don't have 2 phones. Don't have multiple laptops. Don't have many tablets. Minimize your screens. You make a lot of difference. So I would suggest that the students start building awareness. Everything starts with awareness. This is not going to be a problem that you're going to solve in 1 year. It's probably not a problem that we're going to solve in 10 years, but we'll make a solid step towards this using students.
Thank you, sir. So it was really an eye-opening session. So in
Thank
the
you.
way we concern about our earth, and we have knowledge about global warming and pollution, and for sure e-waste contribute a lot. So we have taken this topic and exploring a lot. And since you have experience in India and US, we thought you are the right person we can contact. And thank you for your tremendous support in your busy schedule. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually not even in my town. I'm not in Dallas. I'm in Seattle. So I'm 2 hours behind. So it's actually 12:30 in the night for me. So I'm going to go hit the bed. Thank you so much.
Your efforts.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye.